Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 532. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by viable human Chris Saturn.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Saturn.
did
Also joining us is our producer, Guy.
Hey, it's me.
Only on the part 2 of this topic because
Because why?
because of reasons, because Guy didn't check the notes, I guess. I don't know. It's been in the notes for weeks. Don't know when.
In fairness, he does have access to that.
I just perpetually forget that only Saturn and myself look at the notes because
Right.
why would anyone else look at them? You
Yeah.
don't need to look at the notes. There's no point for you.
Right.
Apparently there is.
Yeah, apparently there is. So yeah, hi Guy, you're here.
Hey.
You're gonna be on the episode. It's very exciting. To be fair, this is out of the two probably the one you'd want to be on anyway. So that makes that tracks.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot to add to the gameplay systems per se. You know,
Yeah, gameplay systems for a game you played years ago now, and did not play again for this show because you didn't know we were doing it.
Yeah, during the Rona. You know what? This game, whatever. You know, we'll talk about it later.
We'll get to it.
During the Rona.
My week.
Mhm.
I've been playing Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town, which is the remake of Harvest Moon More Friends of Mineral Town from Game Boy Advance, which was the enhanced version of Friends of Mineral Town, which was basically a remake of Back to Nature, which was basically a remake of Super Nintendo Harvest Moon. So now that we've gone full remakeception, this is the Game Club game for this month for our Discord because Saturn couldn't think of what to do, so he said, it's Justin's birthday month. He gets to decide by fiat, so I decided Story of Seasons Friends of Mineral Town.
Yeah.
And some of us in the Game Club have been playing it. I think I'm the only one on the remake. I think most of everybody else is playing the GBA version, but it's virtually the same game.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. I've not put this much time into a proper Harvest Moon / Story of Seasons since Stardew Valley. I've kind of had some false starts on them, and it's interesting going back because they do hit different than Stardew Valley. And I'm the first to admit that Stardew Valley is objectively the better game. But these just, they're a little lower tension, a little lower stakes, a little more calm, a little more, kind of monotonous, slice of lifey, low tension sort of affairs. Because like Stardew Valley has there's combat and monsters and stuff in the mine and things like that. And there's like, negative consequences for stuff that can occur.
Sure.
And this is very much just ultra low stakes farming simulator. I did make it to winter the first year, and I'm a little bummed out because Moogie, who gives you your horse at the beginning of the game, I forgot he says, you got to be nice to the horse or I'm going to take it away. And I hit winter, and he showed up, and he's like, you weren't nice to your horse, I'm taking it away. So I'm a little emotionally devastated that Checkers has been taken away from me.
Maybe you should have been nicer to him.
I should have been, but also I didn't want to. Because here's the thing. So you gain
You know what?
relationship.
You're no longer allowed to be emotionally devastated by your horse being taken away when you didn't even want to be nice to it.
Look, he had one heart of relationship. I loved him a little bit. And so the problem with the horse is your cows and your chickens are in your cow and chicken barns. And so you go to tend them every day. And each animal has multiple things you can do. So hand feeding them gives you some heart points. Talking to them gives you heart points. Brushing your cow gives it heart points. And your horse, you can call it with a whistle. You can brush it and you can talk to it every day. And you can give it treats if you've unlocked Van's shop if he didn't leave after his Blackheart event. But the problem is your horse is not in the barn. He's just kind of around, fucking around on your farm somewhere. So to tend him every day, you got to go find his ass. So I never did that because I don't want to go fucking find him. Because I don't know where he is. And so he got neglected and he was left outside for 3 weeks of winter. And then Moogie's like, I guess I'm taking your horse away.
It sounds like you should have had your horse taken away.
No, I loved Checkers. He was the best horse on the whole farm.
You just left him out in the cold for weeks.
He lived. He's fucking fine. So I'm a little upset about that. because the problem is you get your horse when they're a baby, and then they grow up, and right when they grow up is when Moogie shows up to see if you get to keep him. When he grows up is when you can ride him around town to get around town faster.
Mhm.
But Moogie will return Checkers to you at the end of the second year. So I have to go a whole nother year without a horse, presumably from a protracted legal battle between myself suing him for custody of Checkers. I don't really know the story elements that leads up to it. But
Maybe that's when he's taking him to therapy for a year so he can get over the neglect.
so I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I'm upset enough about Checkers being taken that I want to quit the game, or if I want to power through a Checkers-less existence because my cow is pregnant and she needs me right now. I'm just not sure how I feel.
Gonna restart and treat Checkers better next time.
No, I don't want to. I would also name it like Better Checkers, Superior Checkers.
And then equally treat it like shit.
Yeah, I would. I would definitely treat it like shit.
You can call it Mulligan.
Mulligan the horse. This is my son, little Stevie, and his younger brother, Mulligan.
I don't know who that's more insulting to.
I also they're releasing the original Hyperdimension Neptunia trilogy next month. I forget the developers of it. Who are the developers are? They're re-releasing the Rebirth versions of these games. And these are always kind of JRPGs that have been sort of tangentially on my radar. Because they're basically a parody of the game industry. Like a very on point, on the nose, intentional, magical girl themed parody of the games industry, which is such a fun, silly, goofy idea for a video game that I've always been interested in them. But I also knew they were really horny.
Yeah, that's kind of what scared me off.
And so I was like, my tolerance for extremely young looking anime characters in very horny settings is, I think, culturally lower than a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either.
But all the rest of it, like, it's a game made almost entirely, the team that makes the game is almost all women. It's a fun parody of the games industry. It's magical girl transformation stuff, which is always fun. And so I'm like, I don't know. And so I was trying to decide if I wanted to check out the Rebirth trilogy when it comes out next month, and Hyperdimension Neptunia 7R, which is kind of the sort of soft reset of the series, like the new player jumping on point of these games, was on PlayStation Plus. So I downloaded it and I was like, I'll try it. We'll see if I like this, and if I do, maybe I'll try the original trilogy when the Rebirth version comes out. And I was playing it and I was like, it doesn't seem too bad. The outfits are a little intentionally revealing a lot of the time, but, you know, you kind of get that with sort of the magical girl transformation thing. That's just comes with the territory, right? You know, Sailor Moon, when she transforms, her clothes fucking explode off of her and she turns into a naked rainbow lady, you know, like it's yeah, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Too, to be fair.
Just imagining Saturn waking up every morning and his clothes exploding off of him and he turns into naked rainbow Saturn.
Lady for a second.
And so I'm playing it. I'm like, you know, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying it. It's just silly enough. All the characters are like personifications of game consoles. And in the story, I'd run into the personification of the Dreamcast, and she's got like a little off-brand VMU on her arm. It's just really cute and fun and silly, and I'm having a good time with it. And I put in an hour or two, and I beat the first boss, and they go back to base, and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel all gross after being out adventuring. I could really go for a shower. And then they all have a naked shower together and touch each other.
Oh, did they wait until your wife and your daughter and your mother were all in the room for that?
My wife was in the room behind me, like making a coffee. And two of the characters are sisters, and and I'm like, all right, maybe that's just the joke, and they're gonna fade to black, right? It's a fade to black moment. No. It's full screen. Full nudity of all of them, long panning shots, very yeah,
that's too much.
So I was like, yeah, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but also like, I'm just not here for that, and I
Yeah.
don't know if this is the game I want to be playing in my living room on a 65-inch television with a 5.1 surround system. So I think they are too horny for me, so I was a little
Yeah.
disappointed in that.
That's a shame.
I
mean,
also
was the sound mix at least good?
it's all right, yeah.
Good voice acting.
Yeah, if you can handle shrill young girl anime voices, because that's all it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Shrill young girl animes touching each other. Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what the game is.
It's,
Also, the new Digimon story game got announced recently, and I was not super excited because I didn't love Cyber Sleuth or Hacker's Memory. They just weren't my bag. I'm very much a Digimon World person. I'm less interested in the Digimon story games. But the demo for Digimon Story Time Stranger came out, and I played through that. I think I have a little bit more to go, but it's really good. It's shockingly good. It is a shockingly good Digimon RPG. It might actually just be a good RPG that also happens to be Digimon. It could happen. It could be the first time it's ever happened. So I'm a little excited about that. It's also oddly very Persona-y. They add in some weird tone stuff that makes it very, very like, hey, we're doing a Persona now. Which
maybe Persona was the one video game that happened between Final Fantasy X and Clair Obscure, and so
Right,
everybody
it's-
has to
it's
emulate
the only
that.
one. Everybody's got to rip it off.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's fast. It's snappy. It's good. So I mean, the demo's out there. Like, if anyone's interested, go play it. And it's got the monster collecting and the digivolving and the all that stuff.
Mhm.
And I'm really excited. I've got the full version pre-ordered, and I'm pretty stoked on it. It's just seems to be a good Digimon RPG.
Nice.
That is obviously it's the demo, so I'm not very far in the story, but it seems a little more, I don't want to say adult, but like a little darker, a little not like, because I know for a lot of people, Digimon to them is the like 90s kids TV show kind of, that's just sort of what it is. And it's very much tonally different than that entirely.
And
So
for
I'm-
other people, Digimon is just that weird off-brand Pokemon.
How dare you? Okay, it's off-brand Tamagotchi, Saturn. Jesus.
They're the same
Get it.
brand as Tamagotchi, aren't they?
They are, yeah. It's all Bandai. It's all Bandai. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Anyway, Saturn, what have you been playing?
So I'm going to try to go a little fast just to give guys some time.
All right, guys here.
so
We're still
very
doing that thing where
kind.
guys here, guys still
Yeah.
here. Is that-
Yeah, no, I'm still here. Y'all
So,
just have such a good rapport, you know. It's like
So I
you've been
wanted-
podcasting for a decade.
It's so
yeah,
weird.
it's weird. Who'd have thought? Have you met this Justin guy?
I don't know. Fuck that guy.
So I did want to mention real quick my Switch 2 Pro controller. So a couple weeks ago, I forgot to mention it on the show the last time we were recording, but Andrew had come over to play some Mario Karts,
Mm-hmm.
and the Switch 2 Pro controller was completely dead.
Oh,
Which is weird because my Switch 1 Pro controller, which we picked up as
Oh,
the second player,
I feel like you
Fine.
did mention this, that the battery
did I?
just went to shit.
yeah, just completely died. And also it's peeling up slightly on the side, which all of it's really bothering me for
It's
such an
okay. It's
expensive
cheap though,
controller.
right?
Yeah. It's very upsetting.
It's a mere
Uh,
$90 for this thing.
I thought it was 95. I
Oh
don't
my
remember.
god!
Either way,
What?
it's way too fucking much.
No
Anyway,
way. $95?
all right. So
Holy shit.
picked up Chronos: The New Dawn, which is the new horror game from
Yeah, the new Bloober Team thing.
Yeah. And it's fine. It feels like
scary.
it feels like they took the engine they made for Silent Hill 2 and were just like, we got to do something else with this. We did all this work.
Right, we spent too much money on it.
And it's also Unreal Engine 5, same as Silent Hill 2, which makes me think they borrowed a lot of their own homework from it. And so it does feel very similar to it. It is very futuristic-y and post-apocalyptic-y.
Mhm.
And I was, it's fine. I was starting to click with it a little, but I was also meh on its story. And then I get to a point a little ways in, just before I can start upgrading my gear and everything. And I walk into an area and I see a cat. as I'm walking downstairs into this like subterranean layer, and I'm like, oh no, they're gonna kill the cat, and then I'm gonna be sad. And then I get close to the cat, and like nothing's attacked it yet, and I get right up on the cat, and I see a little button prompt, and I'm like, well, what's it gonna do?
I was
And
gonna say,
then-
pet the cat.
And then my dude leans down and he pets the cat, and it gives me an upgrade item. And I'm like, oh, this is the best game I've ever played now. If I can pet cats and get upgrades out of it, that's great. And then I open up my menu and it's like cats collected and his name is there and he's got a name. And I'm like, all right, well, fine. This game is fine now.
10 out
is
of
his
10.
name Cat?
Perfect game.
What's that?
I said, is his name Cat?
No, I don't remember his name because his name is Polish and I don't know Polish names well enough to remember his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got kind of sad. I was sorry
Oh,
jumping
yeah.
into your story here,
No,
but
you're
like I got kind of sad yesterday because we were playing RPGs with Justin. Not
Mhm.
we were playing, whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Your RPG
Uh,
group was playing.
yeah, and I named they were all meat mages, right? Just to throw this out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I named my guy Patrick.
Patty.
Now.
Yeah, he went by Patty because his main meat power was like throwing ground beef.
Yeah.
He's a
yeah.
ground beef school of mage.
Yeah, they were meat mages from Meatlandia. I have all the character names still in front of me on my sticky note. It was Mince, Patty, Pez, and Portia Homburg.
But it made me think of my cat. So
Aw.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah. So also, I started on Great Ace Origins because I got impatient and couldn't wait for my physical copy. So I caved in and got it on Steam. I double dipped.
Uh-huh.
And man, what a good collection! What a excellent collection of games. All of the quality of life improvements are nice. All of the accessibility
Mm.
options are nice.
Is this
You
is
can-
this one M2? Did they do this one? Or
Yeah,
is some-
M2
was
did
it-
this one.
Okay, yeah.
You can rewind whenever you want, and it still lets you get your achievements. You just can't post to the online leaderboards, which okay,
Who
that
cares?
seems
Yeah.
like a perfectly reasonable trade off. It has around the screen and kind of the like border everything. It'll tell you what your current power up loadout is. Because in the original Gradius, as you collected each little power up orb, once you collected 10, the next one would be the little explodey bomb one.
Yeah.
And that's not a mechanic that's ever told to you in game or explained in any way, but they added a little graphic for it so you'll know how close you are to it.
Mm-hmm.
And just the whole experience is great. All the like museum-y stuff is great. And of course, it also has Salamander 3, the new game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited. I was building up to it though. So I was playing all the old games in preparation for it. And then like right before I was about to start Salamander 3, I get an email saying my physical copy is shipped. And I was like, oh, well, I can wait and play it on the big screen now.
Oh, so you've put it off entirely.
So now I've put off Salamander 3, so I'm going to wait and play it on the big screen. And that was also my reminder that I didn't double dip. I quadruple dipped because I bought it on all the 3 platforms like an idiot.
Holy shit, man. Relax.
I know. So when my copy arrives for Xbox, I figure I will let you borrow my PS4 copy or PS5
Yeah.
copy, whatever it is.
Gladly borrow that.
And that way you can also play Salamander 3, and then we can gush about Salamander 3 on the show together eventually
Yeah.
when that time comes.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
You
it was
would think it's
LRG,
a-
wasn't it?
It was LRG.
God damn it.
Yeah.
you would think it was a fucking Dragon Quest game.
Look,
right?
I have a problem. And
Guy, I
my
know you-
problem is buying things.
I know you weren't prepared, but did you have anything you want to talk about?
No, I sat on my hands all week. You know.
Okay,
Fucking-
that's good.
That's good.
No,
That's
no,
good. Are they
I've
warm
been
now?
Yeah, actually, it's
I
got
like
this
to
like
stick them in my knee armpit. It's a little
Oh,
warmer
yeah,
there
knee pit.
sometimes, you know.
my butt's
Right
got a
in-
turbo warm mode. It's kind of
Right.
stinky, but
Yeah. It's called farting.
no, I've been playing not Silk Song, Hollow Knight.
Oh, yeah.
Hollow Knight. Me too. Yay.
Yeah,
The
yeah, there's-
prequel to Silk Song.
yeah. Like a month or two ago, my daughter was just like walked in here and she goes, "Hey, are you gonna play Silk Song?" I'm like, "What the fuck is Silk Song?"
Yeah.
It was like the day after they had announced it, and
They announced it like 5 years ago.
Oh, but they
Oh,
announced the
well.
release date recently.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably
Yeah,
what
maybe
it
that's what it was.
There's the
Yeah, 'cause
hard
it's been a
release date.
meme for years that it was never going to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck is that? She's like, it's the sequel to Hollow Knight. I was like, oh, they're making one? I had no idea. I didn't know that it's been around or announced 5 years ago or whatever. But
Yeah.
so I all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, it's coming out soon. I'm like, oh shit. Well, I'm gonna beat Hollow Knight then.
Good luck.
I gotten. Let's see. You talked about like the people at the bottom.
Yeah, the Mantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mantis Lords.
Mantis Lords. I just beat them.
Nice.
Okay, so you like made it through the Fungal Waste and then you went Mantis Lords before you did City of Tears?
Yeah.
No, I think I did City of Tears also first.
Okay, then we're on the same tracks. I did Fungal Waste and Mantis Lords, and I pivoted to City of Tears. Did you fight the Soul Master or whatever, the big wizard guy?
Yeah, I fought that guy, and then
Yeah.
and then I found my way down to the whatever they're called, Lords, Mantis Lords.
I-
Yeah. Then
I had my first run. I got lost and didn't see City of Tears. Like I just ran through that area real quick, forgot that it existed, and then went down and fought the Mantis Lords, and was like, "Well, now where do I go?" And so I just kept roaming backwards through that area until eventually I found my way back to City of Tears.
the not, I don't know if it's the recommended path or not, but all the walkthroughs I see have you do Fungal Waste, Mantis Lords, and then City of Tears. But you don't have to do Mantis Lords. You can go. So, but yeah, guy, you're like one step ahead of me. I'm on the way to the Mantis Lords right now.
Nice. Yeah, that was a hard fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't super hard. Like they have a very recognizable pattern.
Right.
The way that they work out, and then it's just one of those things where you just have to physically do it and
Yeah, that's the
recognize
tough
where
part.
your safe spots are and when you can heal and shit like
Right.
that.
Yeah,
My problem is always-
seeing it isn't as difficult as performing it.
Yeah, I can recognize the patterns. My problem is sustained pattern repetition.
Hmm.
I'm not good. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
Like I'll know when I need to jump every time, but I can't. I'm not fast
I
enough.
can usually do it in 2D games. As soon as you put me in a 3D environment, I lose the ability completely. 'Cause
Yeah.
like Hollow Knight, Metroid Dread, I was able to get to the end of both of those games. And Metroid Dread I finished a couple of times. But put me in even the opening areas of Dark Souls and I completely lose my ability to perform.
No, having that third axis gives me more areas to go run away to. So I always find that
I get
easier.
Completely overwhelmed.
2D, it's like, here's your fucking narrow window. You better fit into that shit because there's no Z axis. So
Yeah,
good luck.
That's fine with me.
You know?
Yeah, it's all right. Like I'll start out and like trying to hit whatever boss like constantly,
Yeah.
and then slowly figure out where I have to just concentrate on moving and not attempt to hit them.
If
So,
if I'm not hitting a boss, I can stand there and dodge them all day. But it's when it's also like you also got to hit them. I'm like, oh fuck, I can do one or the other. You can't have both.
Yeah, like in Hollow Knight, it's been a lot of finding those safe windows where I can get in a hit or two.
Yeah.
And then just dodging the rest of it. I don't know if that makes me slow at hitting the boss or like killing the bosses. In that, it makes the fights longer.
Yeah.
But it gets me through them.
Well, there you go. That's what matters.
And then other than that, I've been playing a lot of Madden because football season started.
Mm-hmm. John Madden is still making these football games. I hear. Is this what
John
you're
Madden been dead for a while, dude.
Oh
No,
my
he makes them
gosh.
himself.
He's Tom Clancy in it. Is it John Madden's AI making it? You think, or
Yeah, probably.
you got
It's
hologram
AI
John
Madden.
Madden? It's honestly, of all the games out there, Madden's probably using tons of AI. I would imagine. I
Yeah.
can't imagine there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sports
just
games
imagine
got to be
it-
top of the list.
I know, like they advertise using AI for one thing, and I'm
Oh.
sure like they use
dumb.
AI in their programming,
Right.
in their code generation probably. But like
Yeah.
one of the features is like the coach does like a play recommendation for you,
Mhm.
and this year they added in like a quote unquote AI analytics justification for that recommendation.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that is actually AI recommended or if it's just, like, I don't think they're sending it out to an LLM, I guess I'll say, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
I-
imagining a robot John Madden still programming a game while talking about Tenactin and Ace Hardware.
I bought some Tenactin not long ago, and I was like, John Madden.
Boom! Tenactin, Tenactin.
I saw the new everybody's golf game. The new one's not made by Clap Hands anymore.
Yeah,
And they had
yeah.
come out and they're like, we used AI in this game, and everyone freaked out. And then they came out and they were like, we used it to make textures for tree leaves and grass to like, because so they don't have to like make gigantic textures for these
Right.
things. And I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of okay with generative AI doing like tree textures. I don't,
Yeah,
you know.
I get it, but it's still like built off of somebody else's work that
True,
didn't get paid
true.
for it, and that frustrates me.
Yeah. Let's do some news.
Okay.
Quick, before Guy talks about Madden some more. Hurry.
Just immediately change the subject. Like, I knew that was going to happen. I was prepared for it.
In my head, I was like, how quick do I pivot so that it's not actually mean? I don't want it to be legitimately rude. I just want to give the illusion of being rude.
You knew to save Madden for the end of your week.
Right.
Yeah, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah,
Don't.
you were prepared.
We're doing the news.
Yeah.
First up, a homebrew Super Game Boy game called DMG versus Super Game Boy has been released. It utilizes a restricted feature in the Super Game Boy to take advantage of SNES hardware for sprites and audio. What a fun idea.
Did you see this? Did you?
I
look
did
at
not
the
know
vi-
this. I missed this entirely.
Oh, it's really neat because apparently there was some documentation for the Super Game Boy when it came out about how you could do this,
Yeah.
or before the Super Game Boy came out, and then when they actually sent the dev kits out to developers, they're like, "No, this is not a approved feature. You're not allowed to
Oh.
do this," and because it can cause some like graphical issues in games. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy found this in the old prototype information, was like, I'm going to make a game out of that, and
It looks
it's
cute.
really neat.
Puzzle Quest Immortal Edition announced for all major platforms. Puzzle Quest recently, in like the last 10 years recently, recently for old people like us, did get a remaster, re-release or something. This is Puzzle Quests 1 through 3, and I believe all downloads and DLC and stuff, all in one package, which is very exciting. And it's coming to GOG, so you can actually own it,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
is very cool. So I'm a little stoked on this. I enjoy the Puzzle Quest.
Yeah,
I like
this
matching
will give
3
you
of
access
things.
to Puzzle Quest and its bad sequels.
Look, I don't know how you have to be so mean.
Yeah, only the first game was good. We all know it.
Oh no, I think I did. It's been a minute. Maybe I will find out. Find out.
Yeah.
Devolver Digital co-founder Nigel Lowry refers to GTA 6 as the first. It's so
Oh.
this you put 4 A's.
Yeah,
it's supposed
no,
to be
I meant
5
to put
A's.
5.
It's the first quintuple A game.
Yeah, my brain wouldn't process that 5th A when I was typing, apparently.
That's because no one's brain should, because it's a stupid fucking moniker that means
God, it's the
fucking
dumbest
nothing.
shit,
And he went
right?
on to say that as far as the cultural touchstones and importance of GTA 6, I'm like, there is none yet. It's not out yet. It's vaporware right now. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
It's a concept.
I can't fucking handle. It's just all excuses to charge you more money for the
Speaking
same
of things you can't fucking handle.
oh no! I was annoyed that this was news, and I'm annoyed after reading it on the show. Randy Pitchford responds to Stop Killing Games movement by waxing about the heat death of the universe or something. And what gets me, he was like, yeah, it's a shame, technically everything dies because, the universe is eventually going to blah, 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 blah. Randy,
data is just going to dissolve over time, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Randy, we're not fucking talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about companies taking away our purchases long before the universe experiences its own heat death.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're not buying Borderlands 4. Just stop talking. Just please shut up, Randy. Please shut up.
Well, if you're a real fan, you'd find a way to afford it.
I found a way to afford exactly as much Borderlands as I want. Good Lord. Nintendo has officially ended repair support for the 2DS XL in Japan. The last repair that they still did, they've stopped doing.
Yeah, that was
so
the
that's-
last of the 3DS family to still get any repairs.
It's
And
gone.
now
It's dead,
it is
Jim.
over.
Yeah. A new Xbox feature will sync play history from all PC storefronts on Xbox consoles, which is an intriguing idea.
Yeah, so if you're playing on either PC or Xbox, as long as you have the Xbox app open on your PC and you're using Windows presumably, then it'll track all your history. So even if you look at your game history on your Xbox console, it'll be like, oh, you were playing this on Steam or this on GOG
Will
or
it
whatever.
also sync my saves?
No.
Oh,
but it'll at least remind you of what you were playing. So if you sit down at your Xbox, you're like,
Right.
what was I playing? And you look at it, and you're like, oh, I didn't even want to play my Xbox. I want to go play Final Fantasy 11.
right. I
So,
can look at
yeah.
it and know what game I won't be carrying my save over from. So that's cool.
Exactly, yes.
It's the final iPod click wheel game has been preserved. I'm excited
Yes.
about this. I had an
That was
iPod
nice.
video and I played a lot of click wheel games.
Right.
So, it's neat. And I still have a 5th gen iPod somewhere around this house
Nice.
kicking around. Sega accused of using a UK police force to recover several Nintendo dev kits containing prototype information that they negligently disposed of. This is a can of worms.
Yeah, that's a frustrating one.
So I don't even know. The facts seem fuzzy on this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't know yet about it.
Yeah.
It is frustrating that they would, rather than going through whatever normal legal means to retrieve these things if they belong to them, they instead just reported it to the police as if it was stolen when they themselves admitted that it was negligently disposed of.
Yeah.
It's a real frustrating situation.
Very weird. Prototype of canceled Commodore 64 Indiana Jones game has been recovered.
Yeah,
So
which
that's
is
good.
nice.
That's good.
I don't know that I'll play it. It's one of the LucasArts point and click games. So
Yeah, not my thing, but I'm
Yeah.
glad that someone,
I'm glad it's
someone
out there.
can play it. A Switch modder who represented himself in court, has been ordered to pay Nintendo $2 million in damages. Look, I don't think that our justice system is without flaws. I think there's a lot of problems with our justice system and our legal
Definitely.
system.
Oh yeah,
We could talk all day about the massive issues and injustices
sure.
there.
not on this show we couldn't, but
No,
as
but
humans we could.
just pro tip.
Mhm.
Don't represent yourself against big corporations that have teams of lawyers.
But
Don't.
Justin, I played a lot of Ace Attorney and I
Don't-
watched Law and Order.
Gosh, don't do it. Please don't. Just,
Yeah, it's a
man.
mistake.
Oh, gosh, $2 million.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Imagine if he'd spent that $2 million on a lawyer.
That's true. He might have had a fighting chance.
yeah. What lawyer do you get for $2 million? What was the O.J. Simpson guy? Shapiro.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
What was that guy's name?
What was that guy's name?
I can't remember all of a sudden.
It's been a couple decades.
Right?
Been a couple decades.
Was it Al Shapiro? Robert Shapiro.
There
That
you
was his
go.
name.
You got there.
Yeah.
Square Enix finally announced a physical release of Star Ocean First Departure R through LRG
God
for a
damn it,
game
Square.
that has been out for like 5 fucking years now.
Yeah. My
so
guess is
cool.
that Gex Collection did just well enough that Square was like, yeah, we should work with LRG again.
I mean, I'm glad that it's getting a physical, but also it's well, I swear I thought this had a physical.
No. Star Ocean 2 got one.
That's what I'm thinking of. The second one did, because I have the first one digital on Switch and the second one physical.
Yep.
Yeah. Nintendo summoning patent caused a bunch of stories online, but may not mean much of anything. Basically, they released a multi-point patent thing where they've patented the specific way that some Pokemon are summoned within their game, and all of the news websites were like, Nintendo patents the idea of everything. It's
Yeah.
like, no, it's a little more specific than that.
Yeah. It's still scummy. It's still
It
you know,
is. Like a lot of patents, I think it's just a legal foot in the door. So if they think anyone's infringing, they can hit them with C&Ds and threaten to hold them up in court long enough while they prove it one way or the other that they have to back down.
Oh.
Yeah, it seems to be reporting as a little more than it probably is going to end up being.
Right.
But also, I wouldn't mind if it didn't exist.
Yeah. Same.
Forever Entertainment confirmed they're working on a Panzer Dragoon 2 Zwei remake, which is cool. I'm excited for this. This will be exciting.
There's apparently some. I did not realize this, but there's some controversy about Forever Entertainment's other remakes of House of the Dead and Panzer Dragoon 1. Apparently, people say they're phoned in a little bit. I thought they were fine.
I only played the Panzer, and it was not the most exciting thing ever, but it was
It's
Panzer.
vanilla,
It was
but it's
it's
you know,
fine.
done well.
Yeah. Dodonpachi Daioju DX Recover, an iMode feature phone game that was only ever available for a single day, has been found and preserved.
My favorite part about this news is making you say it.
I applaud the preservation efforts for
Indeed.
these very bizarre feature phone games.
And
because-
Clickwheel games. Going
And
back to that.
Clickwheel
It's
games.
just great.
And Clickwheel
I'm
games.
glad all this is getting preserved.
Gabe Newell says people call him a noob in Dota 2. This is my favorite news I've read in weeks. Gabe Newell was just kind of waxing nostalgic about like when he started with Dota 2 and how he still plays the game every day.
Yeah.
And the line is something like, "Yeah, people tell me I'm a noob and I need to uninstall it and that I'm dog shit almost every day, but they're
Yeah.
just passionate about it." And I was like, man, I wish I could have that attitude to people directly insulting me in a video game. Because I was like, "Fuck you, buddy."
Right?
In the picture, they had this picture of him, and he just looks kind of sad in the picture for the article.
Yeah. He looks older than he's looked in a little while, which is saying something because he's been looking old
Yeah.
for a little while now.
Yeah. And finally, Ease versus Trails in the Sky is getting a physical release via LRG. For people that want to own the game and not pay LRG, it is also slated to release on GOG day one, I believe.
Yes.
So you can purchase it and own it there.
Yeah,
if
and
you don't wanna pay
and if
LRG.
you just want to play the game and can't afford to purchase it yet, it is based on the fan translation, which is already available. So you can just
Yes.
go play the fan translation on
It was
PSP.
a PSP game, right?
Yes, sir.
Originally? Yeah.
That is
yeah,
correct.
yeah. Which coincidentally brings us to our topic at hand.
Oh, for once.
Which is Trails of Cold Steel Part 2.
No, not
An
not-
actual
it's tr-
transition. Wow.
Trails of Cold
I know,
Steel
right?
1 Part 2.
There you go.
Trail,
All right.
not Trails of Cold Steel 2.
Yeah.
Trails of Cold Steel episode Part 2.
Yes.
We did it. This is where all my notes ended up, where I wanted to talk about
Oh.
scope last episode. So here it is. This is the story episode. We're not covering the whole story. We're just covering roughly half of the game.
Yes. Give or take.
Like we talked about last time, this is kind of an attempt at a new, longer form format where we're going to do a couple episodes and then hopefully planning to return to this once I get around to finishing the back half of the game.
Yeah.
Which I'm still playing. It's just in 20, 30-minute increments, and a 40-plus hour game takes some time for it to add
Who would have
up.
thought?
I know. So if you listen to this and you're like, that seems fun, I'll say this for people that are maybe just about to tune out before you leave. This is kind of mostly the boring part of the story.
This is the build up.
And then right after this is when the snowball crests the top of the hill and seems to start barreling downward toward everyone.
Having played both of them, I feel like where you're at right now is where you're being made aware that someone is even making the snowball.
Yes, I'm at
but-
the point where I'm like, oh, there is a story. So I was like, honestly,
Yeah.
if I had everything that we're going to cover in this episode spoiled, I'd still be fine playing the game and
Yeah.
still enjoy it just as much because it's a lot of build up.
Everything you've through where you've played has basically been the character and world development part of the game.
It's the prologue, which
Yeah.
granted, I've enjoyed it well enough. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about it. But I just want to throw it out there that if you listen to this and you're like, oh, but they already spoiled a bunch. Honestly, go play it if it sounds interesting, and then maybe you'll have finished the game by the time we're doing part 3 episode Cold Steel 1 episode part 3. I gotta figure out how to name these. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Instead of doing it live on the air,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
some forethought. I've only been doing it for a decade. Saturn, walk us through the characters while Guy and I yell random thoughts about them as you name them.
Okay. Yes. All right. So your protagonist, your main character is Reen Schwarzer.
Mm-hmm.
nerd.
He is.
Boring.
Yeah, he's your generic
Nerd.
good guy with a bad self-image. He
Uh-huh.
is the adopted son of Baron Teo Schwarzer, who they don't really discuss much at all in the first game. It's not till the second game. And he is also a student of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade School of Swordsmanship, because people in Zemuria really care about swordsmanship schools.
Really more of a dropout of the. He did like 4 of the leaves.
Well, he's still learning. He is still a student. of
He
it.
just took a small break to go to military academy
Yes,
for like 4
exactly.
fucking years. Yeah, I don't know. He seems like he quit.
I've wanted to
by
ask you this for a while, Saturn. Is that
Mhm.
the same school that what's his face from Trails in the Sky like walked away from?
Which what's his
Cassius?
face? Yes, it is.
Okay.
And also Annalise, the girl from Sky's second chapter, is a member of the school as well.
Sounds like a lot of people
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
finishing this curriculum. I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious about the teacher of the Eight Leaves One Blade school. Maybe he's a
You learn
shithead.
more about the teacher over time, and you learn that he is very, very picky about his students, and only
Mhm.
one ever ends up being an actual a graduate.
Yeah.
Next we've got Elliot Craig. He is
Uh-huh.
the nice kid. He is
He's the one character that likes you off the bat.
Yes, he is the only one who is immediately friendly. Well, Gaius is also friendly towards you off the bat.
I feel
but
like
he's-
Gaius is not unfriendly. He's more aloof,
Yeah.
sexy and aloof than
Yeah.
friendly.
Well, he can't be close friends with you because he has to save that closeness for the wind.
Right. Only the wind can matter to him as much
Yes.
as you do.
All right. So Elliot is your music lover. He's also the son of Lieutenant General Olaf Craig of the Erebonian military, who is also a character who does not get much development.
Mhm.
But Elliot is the friendly music lover. Then we have Gaius, who loves the wind.
Mhm.
He is the Native American XP character, and he is the tall, dashing, chiseled, tanned member of
Sexy.
the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Eustace Alborea, who is the spoiled rich
Mhm.
kid and the son of Duke Alborea.
Who I called Juicy Ass in our text message chain
Yes.
for 2 weeks.
Yes. If it weren't for the voice acting, I would not have known how to pronounce his name.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Then we have Machias Regnitz, who's the son of the governor. He's also the nerdy one, and he's constantly bickering with Eustace.
Because he hates the nobles. And here's the frustrating part is like Machias makes some great points
Yeah.
about how nobles are pieces of shit, and they
Mhm.
demonstrably within the story are pieces
Yes.
of shit. But he's just such a fucking asshole about
He
it.
is kind of a dick.
And then he also is basically a noble.
Yeah, well, he's still a nepo baby. He's just a nepo baby from not the nobility class.
It's like having your millionaire friend yell about how your billionaire friend is too
Right.
rich. And you're like, dude, fuck off.
So there's this whole like underpinning story about this class war that's happening in Erebonia between the nobles and the commoners. And
it seems
and-
like less of a class war and more of a class noogie being delivered to the commoners.
by the time you get to Cold Steel 2, it becomes an all-out war.
Oh, good. I'm
um,
ready for the class war.
Yeah. So the Machias and Eustace are basically the representatives of the class war. But it feels stupid because Machias is the son of the governor.
Well, it also feels stupid because, and we'll talk about more in the story, but Eustace is pretty estranged and mistreated.
Right.
And so it feels like it's trying to paint the nobles of like, well, it's not all roses over here. And you're like, nah, dog, it is though.
Yeah, and also when Eustace first shows up on the scene, he doesn't make it known that he's estranged because he wants all the clout of being nobility.
Right. And he takes advantage of the clout
Right.
and uses the clout.
Oh,
Heck,
yeah.
there's a key moment where I am where he uses his clout to be able to enter the salon to look for a character
Right.
that is missing. Like it's you know, you can't have it both ways, buddy. You either hate
Yeah.
being a noble or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway,
Fucking
this-
juicy ass.
Yeah. God damn it. So that's the dudes. Then we move on to the girls of the team. First we have Elisa Reinford, who is the canon love interest, kind of.
Sucks. Objectively the worst love interest.
Basically, yeah. She's pretty annoying.
I like that you wrote but didn't say Laura and Emma are right there. Like big old italics.
I did write it. Yeah, they're right there. Who come on. It's not that she's a, you know, a little snooty and
Yeah.
a little annoying, but I don't mind that. That's fine.
Right.
What gets me is she's just fucking mean.
Yeah, she is pretty mean. She calms down as the games go on. Well, all the
Yeah.
characters kind of mature a little bit as the games
Sure.
go on. But yeah, she is real annoying early on. She's real
Very
just kinda
classic mean
cruel.
girl shit where you're like, lady, would you fucking relax, man? We're like, I didn't choose to be fucking in this school
Right.
with you. Like, we were
Yeah.
placed here. Like, could you fucking relax?
And also, there's that generic anime moment when they first meet where there is a mishap and Reen falls on her chest,
Right.
and she holds it against him for like the entire game, despite the fact
it's-
that it was clearly
No, it's
just an
only
accident.
like 2 entire months. And to the credit of the game, because I was like, this is going to be the thing that for 5 fucking games, they're like, and I still don't like him because of the one day his face
Right.
brushed up against the outside of my clothed titties while he
Right.
was trying to save my literal life
Yeah.
while I was falling in a fucking pit. And
Yeah.
it was clearly an accident.
Yeah, but she does
So they
get
do
over
address it. But it's like, it's like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Right. She is the daughter of the weapons magnate.
Yeah.
And she is also, like you said, she's snooty, despite the fact that she is technically a commoner
Yeah.
in their class war. But she is also the rich kid. She's the daughter of the owner of the weapons company that supplies weapons to basically the entire world, but definitely all of Erebonia.
Yeah, we should note that specifically the nobles in the game, they mean like noble blood. It's very much a bloodline thing.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like who's wealthy or who isn't.
Right.
It's very much like a fucking eugenics bloodliney
Right.
type sort of affair.
Yeah, which is how Erebonia has run in the past, and there's clearly tensions brewing at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we have Laura. She is probably best girl. It's
Oh, yeah.
definitely between her and Emma. She's the one who likes swords and is the daughter of Viscount Victor Arsaid. Sorry, Victor S. Arsaid. They always have to say their middle initial for some reason. It's really weird.
I literally do not remember her.
You
You
remember
don't remember
Laura? She's
Laura?
the blue hair. She's the swords lady.
Tall
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
No.
She swam. She's on the swim team.
Yeah, she's on swim team.
Ah,
she's best
yeah,
friends
yeah,
with Fee.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
Well, not best friends with Fee where I am
Okay.
in the story.
All
They're
right, well,
estranged right now, but I
Yeah,
assume
they eventually become friends. My bad. I did not mean to spoil that. I thought that was earlier in the
you
game.
kind of see it coming. You kind of
Yeah.
see it coming. But yeah, at the point that I am, it's like they're having their secret quarrel and we don't know what it's
Yeah.
about right now.
Okay, yeah, my bad. And then you have Emma, who is the nerdy one,
And secret wizard,
and secret wizard.
which
I
is
didn't-
my
I didn't
favorite
remember
part of
how
her.
much they had said about her being a secret wizard at that point of the game.
What I know is that she secretly does magic shit that nobody else notices. That's all that's
Right.
happened in the story so far. There's been a couple times where Reen's like, she doing some magic shit over there, but she's not been called on any of it.
Yeah,
That's all I know.
yeah. You'll get there. Also, she's the nerdy one. On
Mhm.
top of being the secret wizard, she's the bookworm. She's always the top of the class.
hmm
All that stuff. Then you have Fee Classel, who's the ninja.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
She's also the young
Jaeger
one. She's a
kid,
child.
Yeah.
And she is possibly the most aloof. She does not seem to care at all about being in the school whatsoever.
Well, I mean, every character in this is an anime trope, just a
Uh-huh.
walking anime trope that slowly evolves over time.
Mhm.
But she's the like person that obviously cares a lot, but does not want anyone to know that she cares at all,
Right, exactly.
sort of
yeah,
thing,
That's her.
you know? Because it's like, you're not going to be here in this situation if you don't fucking give a shit. You wouldn't,
Right.
you would have not done it. You would have been like,
Right.
no, I'm not going to go do that.
Yeah, I would have stayed
but
in
yeah.
the hotel.
That like intentionally, I care so much, but am being purposefully cold and aloof. Whereas Gaius is just naturally aloof and sexy.
Yeah. And also, Fee comes off as the young one in that regard, where
Uh-huh.
it feels like she is trying to act aloof because of how young she is in order to make up for being the younger one.
Yeah, and granted, I think they're all like supposed to be like 17.
Yeah. And in Japan, I think Fee was 12 and they aged her up to 16 in the Western release,
Yeah.
which that's good. You should have just kept aging
Yes.
them up more than that.
Yep.
Anyway. Then you have Girl 5, who is introduced in Chapter 3, so you've met her now.
is this
This is
Millie?
Milliam.
Millium, that's what it was. Millium.
Milliam, who is introduced in Chapter 3, but you don't know much more about her than that, so I'm not going to
No.
go any further than that.
No, I know she has no pants and is very happy-go-lucky.
Yes, she is kind of an idiot. Then there's the cat, who is a cat and does cat things.
All I know of the cat is that it is a cat and it is involved in the wizard shit with Emma.
True, yes. There is some wizardy shit going on with that cat, and you're going to learn a lot more about it in the last 4 seconds of the game.
Great.
Literally, as the outro cinematic is about to happen, suddenly the cat shows up and you're like, wait, what? And then the game is over.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that too. That's pretty good.
Then you have Sarah, who is the teacher. She is an alcoholic. She is a former bracer. She should not be allowed near children.
It's kind of the classic. What's the archetype of what's her name from Evangelion? What's
Masato.
Masato. Shinji's caretaker lady, who's the sexy older fuck up drunk that is for some reason in charge of children. We don't really particularly know why.
There's no reason this should happen
because she has some type of credentials that means she should be here.
Right.
But I like her story moments because they're always a little wacky, but also the alcoholism thing just drives me crazy. I'm like, can we just fucking stop for a second? Alcohol cannot be your personality.
It is her personality for 3 games.
Oh my God.
Eventually she gets more of a personality, but it takes her some time.
As someone, I stopped drinking, I don't know, a few years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And in real life, I get annoyed by people who all they talk about is drinking, how much they drink, how drunk they were. And having this represented in video games is a little too realistic for me sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do like her general demeanor is fun.
And she's a great character. She is an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And then we have Crow, who is a member of the older class. He is your typical burnout character. I don't think they've done much with him yet where you're at in the game.
No, he's showed up a couple times. There's been a couple bonding events where he's just kind of doing burnout shit, but that's sort of it.
Yeah, he'll become more important later, but as of now, he's just your burnout guy.
Yeah.
Then you have Angelica and Toa, who are Crow's friends from the older grade. Toa is the best character.
Mm-hmm.
And Angelica is aggressively lesbian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that comes up pretty fast.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for those 2 characters in this game, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's not much. There's really not much. Angelica is her other personality is motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. She's motorcycle and lesbian. That's who she is. Yeah,
those are her 2 personality traits.
Yeah, and she's into much younger girls than she should be, and that's unfortunate, and I wish they wouldn't keep developing that.
Yeah. Thanks, Japan.
Yeah.
You did it.
And then we have all of our secondary characters. Real quick, we've got the Emperor and his family, notably Prince Olivert, which I don't remember if he's already come up where you're at in the game or if he comes up later.
He popped up in... There's a weird cutaway moment right at the end of chapter 3. Because, again, like we said, end of chapter 3 is right when the ball starts rolling plot-wise.
Yeah.
And we were right there at the end, and all of a sudden, it's like, here's all these people! And I was like, they must be from other games or something? I don't know. And you're like, no, that's their introduction. And I was like, they did a bad job.
Another game. Well, Olivert and the Chancellor are both in other games, but they're not... They're not introduced in such a way that they matter to this story in the other game. So this is really their introduction here.
Yeah, it just suddenly started throwing a bunch of nobility at me in rapid succession. And then it was like, back to school. You got new summer uniforms. I was like, who the fuck was everyone?
Time to go swimming.
Gileath
Osborne is the Chancellor of Erebonia. And he is the menacing, brooding Chancellor of Erebonia. Toval, who is Sarah's friend, he's a bracer. I think he's introduced early in chapter 4, actually, so you may have met him.
The name doesn't sound familiar.
Okay,
but I might not have gotten to him yet. So I'm just now coming up to my practical exam in chapter 4.
Okay, then you haven't met him yet. He may have been mentioned by Sarah at this point, but not introduced. He doesn't become important until the second game anyway. He's just kind of mentioned in this one. There's lots of students and faculty. There's military and government people. There's a lot of people, way too many to list, many of whom don't become integral to the story until future games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rosalie, is one of the other students in one of the other classes that you barely ever talk to in that game. And then they suddenly bring her up in Cold Steel 3, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember her. And then suddenly she is very important. I'm like, oh, well, shit. Was I supposed to have been paying attention to her before? But no, you don't need to have paid attention to any of these people before.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of them.
Yeah. Just to save you from having to talk continuously for a long time, I'll fire through the glossary of terms that you wrote. This is so people know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yes.
Erebonia is the empire in which this game takes place. These games are often referred to as like the Erebonian games. Arc, because other ones take place in different areas in this world. Trista is the city where this school that all these students are going to is. Thor's a military academy is the name of the military school all of our main characters are in.
Yes.
Liberl is the kingdom to the south where Trails in the Sky takes place. Doesn't really come up, but it I think it's probably mentioned.
Yeah.
Crossbell and Calvard are mentioned pretty prominently, and I can perpetually confuse them because to me they're just words. I didn't play the other games.
Yeah.
Crossbell is a contended city-state between Erebonia and Calvard. Calvard is the republic to the east that's constantly in conflict with Erebonia.
Right.
And I think in my notes for Chapter 3 that I added, I mixed them up because there is some conflict that occurs.
Yes.
North Ambria is annexed by Erebonia in the backstory, only tangentially important. Other stuff to know, bracers are mentioned.
Yeah.
But other than like, oh, they're a bracer, that's all that
you'll hear a little bit more in Chapter 4 about bracers in Erebonia specifically, but they're still not anywhere near as important in this game as they are in the other games.
They're basically bounty hunters in the game. They go do quests for people. Gralsritter, I don't know what this is at all, so I don't know that I've encountered this term.
You haven't yet. You will, maybe. Optionally in Cold Steel 1. The Gralsritter is a secret high-ranking sect of clergy who protect holy artifacts from falling into the hands of bad actors. They play a big role in Sky 2 and in Azure and in later games, but they are mentioned in this one at least. So
Jaegers are a kind of a non-government organization, mercenary group. They are Fee was a Jaeger, and that's why it's important to us in this portion of the story.
Yeah. They mostly
Ouroboros,
seem to do bad stuff.
Yeah. They don't seem to have a good reputation. The reputation is like, oh, you those guys.
Right.
Ouroboros is a collection of bad guys doing bad guy stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
And then Orbmints are materia, but for these games.
Yes.
So there you go. You know.
Well, the quartz are the materia. The Orbmints are what you shove them into.
Oh, right.
They're the slots.
Yeah. What'd you call me?
Oh, you heard me.
Saturn, take us into the prologue. We're finally getting to the story in our story episode.
Yes.
This is why this is going to be 3, maybe 4 fucking shows.
Yeah. All right. So the prologue, Reen and the other students are accepted into Thor's military academy. And the military academy is split into 5 classes, with classes 1 and 2 consisting of the nobility children, the high-ranking peoples. Classes 3 and 4 and 5 are the lower class commoner children. And when Reena's friends arrive, well, they aren't his friends yet, his classmates, they are told they will be enrolled into a new secret experimental class 7. What happened to 6? No one knows. Which crosses...
it lives with Windows 9.
Yeah, it's with Windows 9. Out at pasture. And class 7 crosses economic classes and is also involved in special field studies. And the government of Erebonia treats that as if it's a very novel idea. And the team are thrown into the basement of an old schoolhouse and told to escape, which is, one, it's the game's tutorial and chance to meet all the characters, but it's also supposed to be like their orientation is escaping the old schoolhouse.
I do enjoy a story that starts off with a dungeon and some gameplay and some shit actually happening.
Well, prior to that, there was some in media res stuff.
There was, which I enjoyed even more.
Yeah.
There's like a pre-prologue where you are basically the Empire is firing the rail cannons, which the story sets up as very much like these are sort of doomsday devices that exist only
basically WMDs of this world, right?
Yeah,
now.
that exist only to destroy Calvard as much as possible.
Right.
Anyway, I want to go on record here because I'm well documented as being a person that hates school settings.
Yes.
I will avoid games set in schools. That's why I've avoided Cold Steel this whole time, and why I started with first chapter and then didn't
Right.
love it. I don't like school setting games. That's why I bounced off all the Persona games, and it's a
Yeah.
problem because Japan is pretty sure that as soon as you graduate high school, you just die.
Yeah, your life stops meaning at that point.
So I don't know what the obsession is with being in high school, but there is one. And for whatever reason, well, for the reason I'm about to explain, but it doesn't
Right.
bother me so much in this one, I think because you are explicitly in a military academy. And you like there's very little like in classroom stuff. There's a couple segments per chapter where you're sitting
Right.
in a classroom and it's very short.
Yeah.
And because they're in a military academy, for whatever reason in my head, I've like mentally aged them up.
Yeah, same.
And so it's I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't feel like high school.
Right.
It does feel a little distinctly different, so that I can be like, no, it's not a high school. They're in some sort of military training academy, which they are, but it's also basically boarding school.
In my head, I bumped them all up to like early 20s and
Yeah.
bumped Sarah up to her early 30s because
Yeah.
her being 24 or whatever, that's stupid.
That's-
I don't like that. And then when I got to Cold Steel 3, there was a scene where like it's supposed to be many years later, and Sarah's like, I'm gonna be turning 30 soon. I'm so old. I'm like, fuck you. Just fuck off. If you're old, it's because the alcoholism, lady.
So I want to say, if you're like me and you're like, oh, I also hate school stuff and it turns me off. I'm not going to say it never grates on me here. But it's much less of an issue than it has been for me in other titles, for sure. Guy, you got anything you want to add on the prologue?
No. The prologue is a nice introduction. But and nothing exciting happens. I don't have a problem with the school setting. I say I don't, but like that's the most tedious part of like a Fire Emblem game.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The only notable part of the prologue is Reen falling on Elisa's chest and then them bringing it up over and over again for the next 2 chapters.
Well, also
Yeah.
Eustace and Magius just screaming at each other.
Oh yeah,
Just
Eustace and
constantly.
Marcus fucking down each other's throats.
Yeah. All right, break down chapter 1 for us.
All right, so chapter 1, the students go on their field studies. They're split into 2 groups. Group A, which is led by Reen, is sent to the nearby rural town of Seldic. Group B goes to Parm, where nothing happens apparently, and you don't even get to visit Parm until Cold Steel 3. So while Group A is investigating a growing confrontation between vendors at a fucking fruit market.
This was a very boring chapter.
Yes. That was the very, like, this is a JRPG tutorial, isn't it, chapter.
Yeah, it was very dry, and all the
Yeah.
stakes were very low. It's like, no,
yeah.
I was going to sell my apples here.
Right.
I don't fucking care, dude.
Yeah, which granted, you're playing as a bunch of kids, so it makes sense that the stakes are so low, but
Right.
still, like, fucking get on with it.
Yeah.
So there's a conflict at a market. And for some reason you're brought to the nature reserve, and you end up finding the bandits there. And while you're confronting the bandits, the local provincial army arrives, but they side with the bandits and turn on you, the local school children, and they all train their weapons at you. But then the Imperial Railway military police show up to save you. And the military police are led by Captain Claire, who is a recurring character as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I felt like I was supposed to know her, and they call her like the Icy Maiden or whatever. And I don't know
No, that's
who that
her
was.
introduction to the entire series. That's when
okay.
the series meets her. But they treat her as if she is like some famous character
Known,
within
yeah.
Erebonia.
Yeah.
Like the railway, the Imperial Railway military police always makes me think of like Ren and Stimpy and the Canadian Royal
Yes.
Mounted Police or whatever.
Yeah, the Mounties. Yeah, it does feel like a ridiculous organization title. And the whole game plays it straight as if this is a very important.
Well, especially because they're like above all other police. They're like a federal police force,
right?
And you're like, the railway police?
Yeah,
are?
it's very silly.
I just assume they kick people off trains when they don't have tickets. Is this
Right.
what we're doing? Or
Yeah,
you know.
it feels as if like the local Coast Guard is up on par with the Marines or something.
Yeah, it does.
It's very
It does.
strange. But yeah, so Claire shows up. She saves the group from the local provincial army. And then it was after this that Reen reveals to the group that he is also from nobility, which pisses off Machias.
But he's adopted. There's no noble
yeah.
blood in his body.
He doesn't have noble blood. He was just adopted into a noble family.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Machias will never forgive you.
Well, for a day.
For like minutes.
Yeah. They do kind of play up the card of like, well, he didn't actually lie. He just didn't say it.
Yeah.
It was one of those things. I don't know. This was definitely the boring tutorial chapter. I did enjoy that there's just an inkling of like, hey, Empire's being fucking weird.
Yeah, there's shit going on within the Empire.
Yeah.
Things are fucky here.
You don't see any of it, but it's hinted at that like the Empire showing up and having, anything going on in this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And at this point, it just kind of feels more like crooked local cops than
and
anything
the thing is
major.
you're in the Empire, you are Imperial citizens,
right,
and then Imperial military people show up and turn on you, and then other Imperial military people show up and turn on them, and everything is a little weird.
Yeah, a little strange. So you get the idea that there's some higher level unrest, but it is out of your pay grade.
Actually, one thing I do want to mention here that I really appreciate about Cold Steel, especially going back to it after playing other games in the series, and I'm not trying to ruin or taint your impression of it because you're starting with Cold Steel, but in the prior games, they do a really good job of, or they just kind of paint Erebonia as like the evil empire. It's your traditional fictional evil empire that everybody else is worried about, and particularly the Chancellor is painted as like the evil figure of the world that everybody is worried is going to take over.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Cold Steel, they don't paint it like that at all. They paint it as just like this normal place, and these students are just going to school, and what is everybody talking about? And I appreciate that because in real life, there's been all these examples. Like when you look at, I promise I'm not trying to make a current political point.
I will. Can I?
but like you go back and you read interviews of people who lived in Germany through World War II.
Yeah.
They didn't see themselves as the evil empire. They were like, well, our community seemed fine, and the people here seemed fine and normal, and everybody was happy and living their lives.
It's the "Are we the baddies" moment,
right? They didn't see that, and I feel like the game does a good job of painting Erebonia in that way, where to the people of Erebonia, they're going to music class and they're running their little fruit bazaar and all that other shit. And it doesn't paint the entire empire as evil, despite the other games in the series kind of making it feel like it should have been that way. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think there's like, just to be clear that so nobody misconstrues what you're saying is I'm not like as opposed to like the idea of this being a softening of the image of an evil empire.
Right.
I think it's more so a cold light of reality of like
to the people living it, you don't see it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's important to keep in mind that of course you wouldn't notice it if you're not looking for it.
Right.
And it's something to be aware of and be vigilant of and
if you
to
look
recognize.
For it, if you look for it in this game, you can find characters in the towns that you can tell that there is that tension there. That the adults are like, things are a little weird throughout the empire right now.
Well, and then also like pretty immediately after this, they're like, oh, we have a doomsday weapon. And you're like, I'm sorry, you have a what?
Yeah.
And you're like, a doomsday weapon. Yeah, that this girl's mom made.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm sorry. Are we the baddies? So I think we might be the baddies.
Yeah.
Do they have a doomsday weapon?
Nope.
No,
I
see.
Yeah, but it still like shows that there is still a normal life, but you can kind of see that there is this underpinning tension. But it also makes sense that these normal townspeople wouldn't be talking about it to these school children.
Sure.
Like these are some kids that just came by. Let me tell you all about my opinion of international politics.
And I don't want you to confirm nor deny, because obviously it's major spoilers for later on in the series and later on in the games. But I presume there's a falling out of at least most of these characters that are like, oh, we are indeed the baddies. this
Well,
is not good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it all builds up to. Obviously, is it's
Yeah.
going to build up to how the Empire.
But the
reacts
fact
to
that
the
they
rest of the
make
world.
it a slow burn and that they
Yeah.
bring you in and make you feel this level of ease and comfort within
Right.
this, again, effectively evil empire with
Yeah.
doomsday weapon,
Right.
is I think is good storytelling.
Yeah,
For
I
sure.
appreciate that. That's it's part of what hooked me on the entire series as a whole is that they could tell a story that takes place within the quote unquote evil empire without
Right.
the whole time just being everybody with their heads turned low and being like, "Oh, I don't want to speak out or the government will kill me."
Yeah. Or like for them to not, like it's a JRPG. For a JRPG
Right.
to be like, oh, this is the game set in the evil empire. And you're like, all right, so everyone wears black and rubs their
Exactly.
hands together and laughs maniacally all the time. That's what it is, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
Again, a lot of JRPGs are pretty on the nose.
All right. Yeah.
And this is just like, no, there's regular people here, but there is also, large scale systemic bad things happening and
Yeah,
being done, and that they are a part of, and they are a cogs in this machine.
Yeah, it makes me think back to like Final Fantasy VI wasn't as bad about it, but like Secret of Mana, when you finally go to the evil empire, it's basically just like a doomsday cult all around you.
Right. And you're like, why would anyone join this?
Right. Why would anybody choose to keep living here? Why aren't you all trying to escape?
At some point, you had support and people wanted this. When
Right.
was that? When did
Yeah.
that occur?
Right.
And then you play this and you're like, I can totally get why within the Erebonian Empire there would be support for the
Yeah.
Erebonian Empire, despite the fact
Right.
that, again, evil empire with doomsday weapons. Throwing
Right.
it out there.
Exactly.
Let's do chapter 2.
Okay. So Chapter 2's field study brings Group A to Eustace's hometown of Bereahard. And this is where Eustace
Juicy
and
Ass's
Machias...
hometown of Bearhard.
Yeah.
That's what
And
I
this is-
called it.
This is where Eustace and Machias just spend the whole time fighting.
Basically.
Um,
Yeah. You also meet Eustace's very nice brother. Very
Right.
handsome brother.
Yeah. Whose name I've suddenly forgotten. Rufus.
Okay. Rufus and Eustace.
Yes.
That sounds like the name of someone's pugs. Oh, this is all Rufus and Eustace right here.
If I ever get pugs, I'm going to name them Rufus and Eustace now. So Eustace reveals that his mother wasn't noble and that he is considered a bastard and therefore not proper nobility. And that is what causes Machias to eventually make peace with him, which feels kind of shitty that you have to have not had pure noble blood from Machias to forgive you. But whatever.
Yeah.
Eustace gets summoned to his father's estate. Machias gets arrested while Eustace is gone. The team goes through the sewers to try to break into the Provincial Army's headquarters and save Machias, only to find that Eustace has already escaped from his home and is also trying to save Machias.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Fee reveals that she was raised by Jaegers and served as one for many years before being recruited to the school by Sarah. The group saves Machias. They end up surrounded by a different provincial army, and then Eustace's older brother shows up to save the group with Sarah, who has come down from the school to help save them.
Yeah. In this chapter, you definitely see more dissonance with him in the Empire, more
Right.
infighting, more scheming. I
Yeah.
think is everything's kind of cranked up from
you-
chapter
you're-
1.
You're seeing the conflict between the provincial armies and the imperial army, and the provincial armies are run by the nobility, and the imperial army is run by the chancellor, who is headed by the commoners. So
And you're feeling a little more evil empire stuff going on, but
Mhm.
also it's like, no, we're just students. We don't have anything. This is all
Right, yeah.
You know.
it's all above our pay grade.
And there's yet to be the realization of like, aren't these the people we're trying to become?
Right?
Is
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
not- is
If
this
you're
not-
if you're in a military academy, aren't you gonna join the
Yeah.
military?
Is this
eventually?
not who you're joining? Yeah,
Right.
they've yet to have that realization.
And they
which
do
even where I
mention-
am, is not. They've not quite fully grasped that. That like,
Well, they mention early on in the game that Thor's military academy specifically, despite being a military academy, in recent years has had very few of its students go on to the military. Often,
yeah, it is pretty clear that they don't have to join the military after
Right.
graduating the academy. Especially in chapter 4, where Reen's talking about what he is and isn't going to do after he graduates, and he does
Right.
mention like I may or may not join the military.
right?
So there does seem to be a choice.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
You do get more Fee in this chapter.
Yep.
And Machias being arrested is a whole fun segment. I like that. You have to go
Yeah.
down in the sewers and save him.
Yeah, and that's where Fee starts incessantly commenting on Emma's bust.
I got none of that. I don't know if my game
Every
was
time you-
glitched or what. But
Every time you climb a ladder in the sewers, Fee will comment about it.
you told me about that, and I was like, I guess I never noticed. And now every time I see them all together, I'm comparing all their boob sizes. I'm like, Emma does have really big boobs. And I'm like, am I the creep? Is this what's happening now?
Well, you didn't notice until now, so you can't be the creep.
I didn't notice, and then I was like, because you were like, yeah, she makes jokes about how well endowed Emma is, and I'm like, is she? I get there, I don't know. And then I was looking, and I was like, she is definitely curvier in all regards than all the other female characters in the game.
So Falcom introduced a new game engine for Cold Steel 3, and in that
no.
new game engine,
don't say jiggle physics. Don't
yeah, and also they increased the bust size for all of the busty characters, so it's at a near comical proportion for Emma
Right.
and Sarah and for Risha, who's a character from Cold Steel.
Right then.
It's ludicrous. It's stupid, and every time I see it, I'm like, no, that's not how human bodies work, sir.
Yeah. Guy, you got
Or
anything on chapter
madam.
2? Or madam.
Do I got any what? About
Anything on
chapter
chapter
2?
2 before we jump into the last chapter that we're going to cover here?
We haven't really talked about like the once you get back from the town segments, right?
Right.
Like-
the back at home kind of bonding recap segments.
Well, there's back at home and bonding. I know that doesn't have anything to do with the story, but also like, don't you have to go fight in the old schoolhouse like
Yeah,
every
you do that
month?
just before each field study.
Yeah,
You do
at
that's
least-
what it is.
At least as far as I am now, the schoolhouse is always just like, here's a generic random dungeon with a generic random dungeon boss, and we don't know what this weird place is or why it's happening. And so
Yeah,
there's never really...
And then it always ends with like sort of a cryptic message of some sort, right?
Yeah.
I'm where I am in chapter 4 is they're just now starting to get weird with the schoolhouse.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's
Up through
later
cha-
that it starts to get weird.
Yeah. Up through chapter
Gotcha.
3, it's just, here's a weird dungeon that keeps popping up. That's strange. And it has virtually no story relevance. But right at the beginning of chapter 4 is when the people are like, shit's going down at the old schoolhouse. Let's go
Yeah.
figure out what's up and things. Minor
for-
spoiler for chapter 4. It's when Reen goes Super Saiyan for the first time. And you're like, oh, shit. What the
Yeah.
fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I forget like how like quickly it gets bonkers in the back half of the game.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
does. At this point, I'm like, you guys were really building this up because all of a sudden it's like, shit is happening.
Yeah.
And that's
back
not
half
even
of the
like
game is where it all
like you're
happens.
getting to like the tip of the weird
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like the twists and turns in the stories and shit. Like there's stuff that happens like at the very like last hour of the game.
Yeah, the
that's
last
just,
like 2 hours are where most of the craziness is.
It's amazing.
Two
I
or three
cannot wait for you to
times,
get there.
2 or 3 times, like a black Power Ranger, Darth Vader looking dude has showed up, and I keep waiting for him to reveal himself as the big bad guy. But I don't think it's even going to happen in this game.
Oh, well, near the end.
All right, well there you go.
You
right,
actually
chapter
learn
3.
who he is at the end.
I will. You had. I ended up doing most of chapter 3 notes here, so I'll go through that.
Yeah, because I
for
didn't
us.
want to spoil any of it in the notes in case you. went
Oh,
to
is
go
that
read
what
the
it was?
notes
I wasn't
before
sure.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chapter 3, the students have their midterms, and Elisa's maid Sharon shows up. Sharon becomes one of my
Sharon.
favorite characters. She's
She's
I
great.
love
so
Sharon.
great.
Yeah.
Mostly because she exists and seems to thrive on annoying Elisa, and finally she gets to be as annoyed as she makes me feel.
Just wait until you learn more about Sharon's backstory. She becomes the best character.
Oh, there's a lot of like, they already are hinting at it, and like Sarah already seems to already know her and have a relationship with
Yes.
her, and her being used to being embracer, and you're like, all right, I can tell that there's a storied history here
Yeah.
that I'm excited to see slowly reveal itself. But Group A leaves for the Nord Highlands, which is an underdeveloped kind of preservation that serves as Gaius' tribe for most of the year, and then in a different part of the year they are nomadic. They'll move to a different area for the winter.
Right.
The best part is you ride a horse, you show
Sure.
up, and they're like, here's Hyrule Field and a horse. Look at this massive area. And it's
Here's
just a
your low
medium
poly
size.
PS2 horse.
I liked riding the horse.
too.
I liked that because I get a little turned around in these games.
Mhm.
I liked that it was all big open spaces, so it was harder to get lost, and it did feel distinctly different from the previous 2 chapters because of the big open spaces. Even though
Sure.
theoretically it's just the same thing, just less corridors. So
Right.
whatever. You get your basic mission stuff that occurs, and it eventually leads to Elisa running into her grandfather, Gwyn Reinford.
You mean her pervy grandfather?
Her
Gwyn?
pervy
grandfather.
Well, he's a grandfather and he's in a JRPG, so of course he's pervy.
Oh, right, yeah,
every
that's fair.
grandfather in JRPGs has to be Master Roshi, and they can be nothing else. That's the
That's
rule.
true. That is.
I guess context is important.
So we hear more about Elisa's dissatisfaction with how he left the company and how it affected her. We learn that her and Sharon and Gwyn were kind of the family unit while her mother was sort of taking over the company. And we get to hear a little bit, we'll see this later. But anyway, during the night, after returning to the camp with Gaius' family, the watchtower on the border of Calvard is attacked because in these Nord Highlands, which are important for historical reasons, and the old emperor dude that ended the Civil War teamed up with the people in the Nord Highlands and it's this whole thing. They built this watchtower to watch Calvard. It gets attacked in the night. And we learn at the same time the Calvard base that this watchtower is watching was also attacked.
Right.
And initially both sides immediately presume that the conflict was started by the other, and the Empire starts rolling in armored divisions, and they're about to be we're at war with Calvard.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. So the group of teenage school children decide they'll investigate this armed Empire level conflict going on right now.
Yep.
And are allowed to because Gaius is friends with Eye Patch Man that works there. So they're allowed to do that.
Yeah, the Eye Patch Man is related to a character from another game.
Oh, okay. I forget the it's like a Zen Gate or Zenin Gate or something. I forget his name, but they work at this gate to the Nord Highlands.
All right. Yeah, he's one of the Vanders, which is also a school of swordsmanship in Arabonia.
So they investigate. This is all normal for 17-year-old children,
Yep.
and they come across Milliam, who we did see briefly earlier. But they think that she's the one that did this. They track her down. She's like, no. It was done by hired mercenaries, and she joins your group while you track them down. She's a little more like cartoon JRPG, happy-go-lucky kind of character, which was almost refreshing at this point in the game.
I hated her character
because things are getting a little stuffy and buttoned down, and I was like, all right, let's get fucking wacky. She has a big dumb hammer. It's silly.
Now she's got a giant puppet that hits things for her.
Yeah, well, no, but then when you do her S-break, she pops up and has a hammer.
That's true, yeah.
So anyway, after some running around, the group finds the mercenaries responsible, and they're being led by some guy who wants you to call him G, but he says his name is Gideon.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to call you G. Your name is Gideon. This is stupid.
You ruined your code name immediately by telling us.
Yeah, my name is Gideon, but call me G. Well, to be fair, James Bond does the same thing.
That's true.
He even reiterates his full legal name. So, is what it is.
Maybe he just wanted us to call him G so that we could suffer like G did.
Right. Definitely. So he escapes to fight another day. A big monster shows up, and the group swaps final bosses for a satisfying conclusion to the chapter.
Right.
And in the kind of ending section of chapter 3, before we leave the Nord Highlands, we hear Gwyn talking more about how he left the company, and they really set up how these railway guns exist. They basically only to decimate the civilian population of Calvard as a deterrent.
Right. And right between the railway guns and Calvard is Crossbell, and the people of Crossbell are completely innocent of all of this.
Yeah, and so this is also where this is the moment where you're supposed to be remembering that at the beginning of the game, they were firing the railway guns when the story started in media res before it cut back to now, and you were presumably trying to stop it.
Right.
So they're really setting up that moment. And then this is when we get the weird interim before chapter 4 starts, where they're like, here's a bunch of officials and princes and princesses and lords and ladies and stuff, and they're all talking about shit, and then the chapter's over, and then that's it. And then chapter 4 starts, and things immediately are just off the rails. But the backstory does continue of there's dissent within the Empire, there's issues within the Empire, and then we're slowly revealing that the Empire, maybe they're evil, and maybe they have giant railway doomsday guns, and maybe they're setting up gigantic deterrents that target civilian populations, and maybe this isn't very cool to be doing.
I just really like that, like, up till this point they don't spend too much time talking about any of the internationally destructive things that the Empire is doing.
No, not really. No, not
And
at all.
really they're more worried about the internal conflict. Like,
Sure.
Machias is more worried about the nobility being, too stuffy,
Yeah.
and
And then
Eustace
even when
is-
these railway guns are being talked
Mhm.
about, it's in the context of this is why Elisa has a bad relationship with her grandfather.
exactly, yeah.
It's not in the context of I'm sorry, you have a what to kill whomst?
Right, yeah. Exactly.
It's like this is why me and my pap don't get along.
Look, doesn't everybody have nuclear weapons in the family?
And you're like, oh shit, you're gonna fucking kill some people. And she's like, pap left. And you're like, Elisa, shut the fuck up right now. This is some serious shit, dude. But yeah, you really start to feel that her mother and the Reinford group have really become this kind of evil organization, and within the Empire, they're sort of painting the Reinford group as like this is the big bad, the big
Yeah.
industrial complex that is fueling this oncoming conflict and war.
Yeah, the only like, all the games are connected, obviously.
Right, yeah.
And in the previous games, the only thing that would have the only extra experience you would have gotten from the prior games with Elisa as a character is there is like a throwaway line in one of the prior games where somebody finds a weapon that is branded Reinford, and they're like, "Oh no, this is a Reinford branded weapon. This is bad," and that's
Well, and-
about it.
Even in Chapter 3, they make it clear that it would be weird for anyone in Calvert or Crossbell to have or use Reinford weapons, because one of the
Right.
plot points was that the shells that hit the Reinford or the Empire Watchtower in the Nord
Right.
Highlands
We're all
was a
made.
Reinford shell, and they're like,
Yeah.
why would they even have that, much
Yeah.
less use it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so yeah, there's worlds within worlds.
Yeah, it's a deep series of stories, and they're all very interconnected. But I like that. I like the whole, because in the past when we've talked about these games, we've kind of made the comparison to like the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all these different movies that all link together.
Yeah.
And these games often feel like that, but especially these earlier ones are just separated enough that you can enjoy them on their own without having to know all the extra stuff. Because like, you've played this far without having played the other games, and even though it references stuff and it's clear that it's talking about things that connect to other games in the series, it's
Yeah.
not necessary
No.
to have enjoyed it.
What I like is it's all couched in personal drama and conflict, and it creates a situation where you as the player are coming to the realization as you're going through like Elisa's arc or learning about how the Jaegers are raising child soldiers and whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you're not like, oh, it's doomsday weapons and child soldiers in an evil empire. You're like, oh, this is why Fee doesn't talk much and Elisa is upset with her grandpa. And then you're like, wait a minute, why they made a what weapon? She was a what? She was a child soldier? Like, it's
Yeah.
this, and because to them, this is just their life, and
Right.
this is how people in these situations would present it.
Yeah.
And so it creates this thing where the meta narrative is a thing that you as the player are slowly realizing.
Right.
Rather than something that the game is intentionally saying, hey, you need to realize this, and we're going to make the characters in the game realize that. This is just them living their life. And
Yeah.
you as the outsider are looking in being like, y'all are so fucked.
Yeah. And
And
if
you don't even know it because you just want to be like, oh, and that's why I don't talk much. And you're like, oh my God.
and
It's
when I
like-
went back, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like when you're telling a funny story about yourself and everybody's just like
Yes.
staring at you.
Yeah, and you're like, wasn't that funny? And they're like, dude, you were abused. And you're like,
Right.
oh.
Doesn't
got-
everybody have belt marks there?
I was? Yeah, it's exactly that, where
Yeah.
you're just telling a story about your life, and they're like, dog, that's not okay, man. What happened to you? And you're like, oh, right.
When I went back to Cold Steel after having played the prior games, the game leaves a lot more like obvious breadcrumbs than I had realized.
Yeah.
Where knowing the things from the prior games, I can play Cold Steel and be like, oh no, that is foreboding. I did not notice that at all the first time.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that it doesn't like make it over the top. It doesn't every single time like pan the camera over and be like, remember this thing? It just plays it as the characters within that country would have seen it. And I
Yeah, it
appreciate
plays
that.
it straight. When they're talking about these railway guns,
Yeah.
they're not constantly cutting to them and talking about their destructive power. It comes up a little bit,
Right.
but it's mostly in the context of this is why Pap Pap quit the
Right.
company. You
And
know,
also it's in the context of, we're a country and we need to defend ourselves. And so we're going to have an army and all this shit. That's normal. That's normal stuff. And it's not until you see from the other country's perspectives that they're like, oh no, those are absolutely devastating moves that they are making to countries that are mostly unarmed.
yeah, for sure,
So
for sure. So I'm excited to play more. Chapter 4 immediately is just a lot of shit happening all at once, and I guess we're getting into final thoughts. But I'm very much enjoying the game. It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
If you're coming to this for hard hitting, fast moving story, you're going to be disappointed.
yeah.
None
None of the games in the series are going to have that until you're several games deep.
It's slow moving, and the story, while it is still full of kind of your classic anime tropes, the actual larger narrative being told seems to respect the player enough to not really hammer home things and like tell you how to feel and tell you the realizations you're supposed to have, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
It lets you just kind of come to them on your own.
I will say that like it does, we're talking about how it gets more and more bonkers as it goes, past this point.
Yeah.
But the structure of how that works doesn't really change.
Yeah.
Where you're going to a town, you've got jobs to do in the town or whatever, and it's sort of a get to know the country sort of feel.
Yeah.
And then during that little mini adventure, you get more revelations, and then like the prologue to that specific areas get longer and longer as the game goes.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm experiencing in Chapter 4, where I'm like an hour or two in, and it's just now like, here's your practical exam.
Right.
And so I think it's well constructed. I think I'm excited to play the last half of the story.
Yeah.
And it's been a good time.
I'm excited to see if you make it to the end of Cold Steel 1, what you think of those last few minutes, because that's where it really goes off the rails.
I do want to ask a question
Uh-huh.
while I have you both here. I'm considering switching to PS4 for Cold Steel 2.
Mhm.
What am I missing out on by not having a save to carry over?
Not much. Some extra items.
It's just some
and-
bonus items, right?
Yeah, and I
Like, it's
sent
not
you
like
my
I-
save
like-
files from the PS4 version, so you might
You
be
did,
able to
but I
use
don't
them.
think I can use them. I was looking.
Yeah.
I think they are. I got to get them reassigned to my profile, and it's a
Ugh.
whole ordeal. So I'm not sure
That
that's going
sucks.
to work. But if I switch to the PS4 version, I wanted to know if it's like, oh, your levels exactly carry over on all your equipment, or is it just like, now you get some bonus items?
No, it's bonus items because you
Okay.
lose all of your equipment, and you have equipment at the beginning, but it's not all of your inventory, and it may keep your levels within a certain range,
Yeah.
but it still has a base minimum starting, and if you haven't been grinding, you're probably not going to be above that anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, you know how I play these. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do that. So I might switch to PS4 for
Mhm.
Cold Steel 2 because these crashes have me nervous. these few crashes I've experienced. One of them I did lose. I just finished a boss fight that I had to try 6 or 7 times, and I was in a bunch of story afterward, and then the game crashed. And so that was pretty devastating.
Sucks.
But I'm nervous that it's going to get worse and be in more important areas of the game. So we'll see how that goes.
Especially as you get to longer story segments.
Yeah, that's the other concern. I don't want to be halfway through a 2-hour story segment and then it
Right.
crashes and
Yeah,
fucks
it's
my shit up.
rough.
The game does seem to be pretty good about taking breaks and giving
Yeah.
you save points and stuff, but
Right.
we'll see. We'll see how that all works out. In the meantime, what you can see is our Patreon at patreon.com/retrowarriors, where you can get uncut versions of this show and Talking Wizards and other stuff. I'm very sleepy. We're going to thank the
Hey,
following
Guy.
patrons. Hey, Guy.
Hey, Guy, tell our listeners how great it is to be a patron.
It's pretty great. You get, access to lots of shit,
Yeah,
and you can join our Discord and be a special Discord person.
that's true. Yeah.
Special Discord. You get a gold name.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And you get access to our Talking Wizards channel.
The secret
Yes.
Talking Wizards channel that I think most recently was discussing sperm.
Probably.
I think is what that was going on in there.
I always enjoy it when a patron like is a patron before they sign up on Discord, and they're like, "All I see is welcome and talking wizards."
Yeah. You're like, that's all it is.
Yep,
Just
that's
this
it.
weird fucking shit. Anyway, we want to thank the following patrons for their kind donations. Guy, are you going to get in on these names?
Sure.
All right, you can go third. You can go third. Are all the patrons that made this episode possible? Is the name of the patron.
Does that say possible or possibly?
Possibly.
Oh, I didn't
Are all the
realize that was a
patrons that
patron
made
name.
this
This is what it
episode
said at first. It was
Possibly.
without the dash I.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
Also, Zero Scroll, Fernando Benavides.
Neil Hayes.
Rocco Bob.
Nicholas Grind.
Bad dude's good.
See, Guy agrees with me. I don't know why you guys got weird about it, Saturn. Norman.
Petros.
Elson Raves.
And the Seb Squatch.
Oh, I was reading
Oh.
that as These Be Squatch.
These B Squatch. These
I don't know which one is correct.
Thesib Squatch. Could go a lot of different ways. Hey, Zero Scroll. We banned you in the Discord today because your Discord got hacked.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're sending spam messages. So if you try to join our Discord and you're like, why am I banned? That's why. Just message me on Patreon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably shouldn't just do that here, but here we are.
No.
So
Discord account.
and I got the spam message and I was like, what? I know this person. They're on our Discord. They're one of our patrons. I guess their account got hacked. So,
Yeah. So.
you know, let me know.
I like it
I'll
because
let you
like
guys
I timed them out, and you're like, I just banned them.
Well, yeah. Well, when you get hacked, like you have to recover the account and everything. I don't think a timeout's going to be enough. So
Yeah, no, it's the whole thing.
that's what it is. Anyway, that's Trails of Cold Steel, the first game, parts 1 and 2.
Ish.
And presumably we would have, if we were to finish this, we'd have at least one more episode. I don't know if
Yeah.
it would be 2. I think
No, probably
one
not.
more for
I think
sure.
we could fit it in one.
You could probably do a whole episode on the last couple of minutes of the game.
But we wouldn't have to cover all the characters and shit that time. So
That's
yeah,
true.
that's
We'd
fair.
just be jumping straight through the story, and
Right.
it'd be a continuation from right
Yeah.
here. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm hoping within the next 3 recording sessions we can do it, but
We'll
I'm not going to
see.
rush it. I'm going to take my time. I'm going
You
to go
take
slow.
your
I'm going to
time.
enjoy it, and we'll see how it all works out.
Yeah.
Anyway, Guy, thanks for hanging out on
Yeah,
this
thanks for coming on.
unexpected Trails of Cold Steel episode that you didn't know was happening.
Yeah, thanks for telling me about it. Appreciate it.
Well, you've been gone for a little while. We didn't know when you'd be back. We didn't want to bug you about it.
Passive aggression.
Did you turn into a Dalek?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Briefly. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. And as always, let us cling together.